Hello everyone and welcome to the Starseed Dragon channel. I'm rather cold, so pulling up my sweater sleeves. This is a book review for Llewellyn's Little Book of Dragons by Sean Mackenzie. As you know, I am a huge Sean Mackenzie fan. This was in the clearance section, ironically. But it's a little book. It's about the size of my hand, right? Let's see. Dragons can help you rise above the mundane in everything you do. This pocket-sized guide reveals fascinating information about dragon species, their life cycles and histories, and where to find them, featuring famous dragons from literature and lore, seasonal dragon festivals, and more. This impressive little book takes you on an epic journey into their world. Beautiful. And there's the ISBN if you would like to search for it yourself. I purchased this on Llewellyn.com. I'm a big fan of Sean Mackenzie. Oh my goodness. Of Sean Mackenzie. I love how she writes. Let's see how we go here. Llewellyn's Little Book of Dragons. Let's just take a looky-loo here. Second printing, 2021. This is the first edition, second printing. First edition, second printing. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to just assume that it was printed in 2021, okay? For my father, Warren Mackenzie, the most spectacular dragon I've ever known. He gave me the world. I wish I had written faster. Beautiful. Contents: language of dragons, dragon species, large and true. From egg to end, a dragon's life. Dragon species, small, a brief history of dragons, once upon a dragon, living with dragons, roughing it, dragon watching in the wild, dragon festivals and fun. Oh, dragon festivals and fun. Epilogue: dragons, our last best hope. And bibliography. Okay. We have tips, finding dragon treasure, dragon watching, landscaping for dragons, calling dragons, dragons and others, dragons' wills and welfare, dragon safety and etiquette, dragon body language, poking your inner dragon. Acknowledgements. My profound thanks for their support and wisdom to my friends and fellow scribes, John Goodrich, Brandon Ayer, John, I apologize in advance, Orzahowski, okay, Ty King, and Karen Sanderson. Through the years, they've followed me into Dragon Country, suspending disbelief with wit, patience, and blue pencils at the ready. To Lee, who helped remind me of joy in the dark times, and to Marge, who was there. Fantastic. We men dream dreams. We work magic. We do good. We do evil. The dragons do not dream. They are dreams. They do not work magic. It is their substance, their being. They do not do, they are. Ursula K. Le Guin, The Farthest Shore. Beautiful. And here we go with the introduction. Let's see what we've got going on here first, because I got carried away with my last dragon book. We have chapter 1, Language of Dragons. I just want to see what we've got going on in here. Wow. Dragon being, dragon living. The ritual grooming of dragon horns is essential to keeping them sharp and smooth. Hornfels, a tough, fine-grained metamorphic rock, is considered the best honing tool honing tool. Unicorns and other horned crypto species are also known to charm. Chances are a few mundane species do it too. So charming is the ritual grooming of dragon horns. Okay, good to know. In case you didn't know that. I didn't know that. Queen, a breeding female dragon. Well, there we go then. That's all we really need to know, right? Beautiful. Sire, a breeding male dragon. Okay, queen and sire. Excellent. Love that dictionary there. Dragon people, dragon keepers. Adopt a dragon initiative. Oh, I've got to join that. Dracophile, Dracophobe, a dragon loather, not like you. Oh God, I love Sean McKenzie. Dragon Conservancy Program, Dragon Lay-by, a dragon-friendly patch of land established for the rest and recreation of itinerant dragons. Dragon sanctuaries, flying ointment, molting balm. Wow. There are, oh my goodness, dragon slayers? Well, yeah. Dragon slayers are a sore point among dragons and the people who love them, obviously. Naturally, numerous as ticks on a badger, and just as bloodthirsty, they are, thankfully, more figures of the past than the present. Historical relics, you might say. And while many of us prefer slayers not be mentioned at all, that would be a grave whitewashing of draconic history. As a rule, dragons oppose whitewashing. Through the centuries, the character and accolades afforded a culture's slayers were directly affected by how a people viewed their local dragons. In the early days of human civilization, dragons ruled the earth, controlled the flow of waters, and the bounty of field and forest. They were nature with 4 legs and wings. And they had names that inspired wonder and fear. Asdev, Gandariva, Landon, Landon, or Layden. Oh my goodness. The humans who stood against them were more than heroes. They were demigods and lauded builders of nations. Killing dragons solidified their royal credentials and guaranteed their place in song and history. This was the time of Gilgamesh, Cadmus, Karasaspa, and Rustum. In the Common Era, especially among Judeo-Christian people, dragons went from natural forces to satanic ones. Suddenly, a quick route to canonization careered through the nearest dragon den. George and Martha, Theodore and Catherine all had dragon kills on their saintly resumes. The Common Era also saw the rise of dragons as the target of heroic knightly quests. Often rationalized as necessities for the safety and security of the human population, many dragons were pursued as means to the ends of sport and fame. The impact of all this bloodshed on weirs will be explored further in Chapter 5, A Brief History of Dragons. While memories of dragon slayers are horrific and painful, we cannot ignore their dark legacy. It informs dragon conservation, present and future, and illuminates paths never to be followed again. Now, with rudimentary draconic vocabulary in hand, let's venture forward and put it to use. Ooh, let's do that. Chapter 2, Dragon Species Large and True. Just flipping through this. Western dragons. Feathered dragons. Tip number 2, dragon watching. If you're inclined to dragon watch, always remember and never forget. Know your season. Autumn is a time for courtship and coupling. You don't want to get in the way of dragons in rut or traipse across mating grounds. Good to know. Study up on lesser dragons in the region. As a group, they tend to be unpredictable. Some are positively lethal. Distance is your friend, so take a camera with a good zoom lens. Stick to trails and designated lodgings. Pack in, pack out. You are in the dragon's home and should treat it accordingly. Excellent tips, I must say. When I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, I had some tiny dragon friends in my tiny forest in my backyard that would oftentimes come up to my back porch, and sometimes they would come inside my house just to bid me good day. They were wonderful tiny dragons, and I would always scoop them up and make them go back outside because I didn't want them to get eaten by Phyllis or by Daisy May, but Daisy May is in doggy heaven now. But you get my point. Chapter 3, From Egg to End, A Dragon's Life. Wow, I can't wait to read this. I really appreciate this. This is a rather thick book too, right? So not necessarily, unless you have really big pockets, I wouldn't call this a pocket size. I would call this a more condensed version of the storytelling. But I must tell you that this is book number 11 of the Llewellyn's Little Book series. So just so you know, I will put the link to where I purchased this in the description box below if this is something that you would like to add to your beautiful library. I know that this is, wow, look at the back of that. I know that this is, I can't wait to finish reading this, and this is definitely something that I will be very proud and am very proud to have in my library. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's got like dragon scales. Love it. Oh my God, I love this book. Tiny little book. I adore it. Thank you, Sean Mackenzie. Thank you, Llewellyn. I cannot wait to finish reading this book. This is going to be something I'm going to have a hoot reading. I hope that those of you out there who are also dragon lovers, I mean, I am a dragon, but those of you who are also dragon lovers might find this interesting to have and to read and to hold. I think that this is fantastic. And Sean Mackenzie is the person who created the Tarot of Dragons. And if you love that Tarot of Dragons, then you will know the style of writing that Sean Mackenzie does. And if you enjoy that kind of writing, then I highly suggest you read Sean Mackenzie's books. Sean Mackenzie writes about other things outside of dragons, but you know, I'm partial to the dragon part right now. So I want to start reading some of the cat things that Sean Mackenzie's written about, but I'm kind of hooked on the dragon part right now, so I'm sure I'll get to that shortly. Other than that, if there are any items that you would like to see me review, let me know in the comment section below. If you have already read this, please give your opinion in the comment section below, so that our community can have a better idea from multiple different sources on what they thought of this wonderful little book, so that they can make a more educated decision on what it is that they, whether or not they would like to purchase it for themselves. I am super stoked that I purchased this. But I will leave it at that. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video.